The alert: a 12-year-old girl allegedly raped by 3 teenagers who are all being charged as adults. Local 10's Magda Luisant is live in Miami with distressing details. Magda.
Janice, you know, this alleged crime happened in June, but it wasn't until this week a grand jury said these minors need to be charged as adults. This is why we are showing you their faces. Now, the details in this alleged crime are very disturbing. We want to warn you. 2 middle school age boys and a 15-year-old boy are facing serious charges as adults in connection to a rape case involving a 12-year-old girl.
So you're 12 years old? You're 13 years old?
Police say the co-defendants, Nelson Nunez, Josiah Jones, and Xavier Tyson, all played a part in the crime that took place in an Overtown community garden in June.
You were indicted by a grand jury and transferred from juvenile court to adult court. That's why you are here.
Police reports say the victim was leaving her friend's house when 13-year-old Nelson Nunez grabbed her, forced her on a couch inside the Greenhaven community garden, and raped her, while 12-year-old Josiah Jones and Xavier Tyson, who was 14 at the time, restrained her. Police say Jones put rocks in her mouth to stop her from screaming. The victim says it went on for about 30 minutes, and the boys stopped when they heard her father calling her name. We've learned from the founders of the community garden Greenhaven project, telling Local 10 the situation has been very saddening. They say the garden is closed off to the public outside of normal operating hours, and on that day, a construction company cut the side gate, which allowed for anyone to enter the garden. The organization said it extended support to the victim, adding, "We will always be here to support in the best way possible, and that our extension of love and resources will always be available to the victim and her family, which we very much cared for." Both the 12 and 13-year-old are at the West Detention Center, both of them being held there without bond. As far as Xavier Taylor, the 15-year-old, we have not seen that he has seen a judge just yet, but when he does, we'll update you on what happens there. And we have also reached out to everyone involved in this case, their representatives, and that includes the victim in this case, and we have not heard back from anyone just yet. We're live in Miami. I'm Magda Luisant, Local 10 News.
3 suspects ages 12, 13, and 15 at the time of the were arrested in rape of a 12-year-old girl in Miami. The 3 suspects were initially arrested after the alleged rape that happened on June 18, 2025, but records of them, the 12-year-old and the 13-year-old, were booked into the Metro West Detention Center Thursday as adult charges. The young suspects are facing charges of a 12-year-old girl at a community garden in Miami. Last year, police said both the 12-year-old Josiah Jones, 13-year-old Nelson Nunez, appeared in adult court Friday, where a judge ordered them held without bond until next court appearance. Records showed the 15-year-old Xavier Tyson had an arraignment hearing in adult court scheduled for Friday. According to arrest reports, Jones is charged with aggravated assault and false imprisonment. Nunez is charged with sexual battery in a minor by and kidnapping, and Tyson is charged with sexual false imprisonment and serious conduct with the child. According to the arrest reports, the victim says she was leaving a friend's house in Northwest 3rd Avenue when she saw 3 suspects and a witness. She said Nunez grabbed her in the Greenhaven Project, 1160 Northwest 2nd Avenue, a community in Overton. The girl said she was screaming. Nunez took her to a couch in the garden as the 2 other suspects and witness followed, the report said. She said Nunez sexually battered her as the other 2 suspects assisted. The report said the didn't participate, the girl said. The girl told investigators Nunez only stopped when they heard her father calling her name and they ran off. Detectives interviewed the witness who confirmed the victim's story and said he didn't intervene because he was outnumbered and was afraid of getting beat up, the report said. The Greenhaven Project said in a statement Friday that they were saddened and disturbed by the tragic incident that occurred on our premises. While the individuals involved are minors, we unequivocally condemn this behavior. Such conduct is completely contrary to values of safety, respect, and community that our organization works diligently to uphold. We support the appropriate legal process accountability in this matter. The GHB maintains perimeter security measures, including fencing and protective areas, and we are fully cooperating with the law enforcement as they continue their investigation, they said. It took me a couple of times to do this without emotional because I feel for that little girl. God only knows what she is going through and what she had to endure, having rocks put in her mouth, being held down and kidnapped and assaulted. While somebody stood by and did nothing. Trigger warning on this video. This video is a trigger warning for anybody that has faced assault, held against their will, has been sexually abused, kidnapped. This is a trigger warning. We have to talk to our boys at young ages. I have honestly talked to him about incidents like this since he was about 5, because boys have to learn what no means at a very even earlier age, even if it's at 2 or 3, because they understand what no means when you don't let them gain access to something. What I mean by that? Well, when a boy learns how to lie, that is definitely when you teach him and put that fire out quick, learn to hold them and teach them accountability and redirect them in their behavior. So we can't always continue to say that the system is setting us up. When someone chooses to be a criminal, in some cases, that's true that the system is designed to set people up and keep them in jail. But if you make the decision to kidnap a girl at your young age and put rocks in her mouth, help the other with holding her down while the other assaults her, that is your choice. The system did not design that act. You did. And it starts with you. Now, we could say too, maybe they had issues at home. Well, we know for sure that there probably were issues at home. We just don't have the full information on that. We'll probably find out down the line as the court cases proceed how was home like, because they're living in the projects. So we can only assume what home life was like. Something they witnessed assaults, they thought it was okay. If they never learned to know that the opportunity takes something that I feel is mine. This crime is horrific and scary. But at the same time, we have to get behavior and community behavior. What do I mean by that? Well, men, when they make derogatory comments against women, and when boys see things, it overstimulates them and can sexualize their minds and their behaviors. The way they think is in the music. We see it in podcasts. And yes, are guilty of this too. But we're about the men and the boys today, because the reports on these crimes, these sexual violent crimes, consistently coming out about minor boys and men. I just did a video on a DoorDasher, a man, 24 years old, who was caught on a video coming on a 12-year-old boy using somebody else's account who was registered offender just in 25 for an assault. His escalating behavior did not keep him from what he was going to continue to do. So when you see videos like this, I'm not a video, I'm going to show you pictures where they look at it like, well, when I get over this one thing, I'm not going to sacrifice or put my life on the line for my wife, because this is all about me, because I'm selfish and I don't think about nobody else but myself. And then it's where they see me and say, I'm going to make her my guardian angel. She's going to take this for me. Or she better be quick enough, because I'm going to leave her and the kids. So how is to boys, young boys, or to look and learn a lesson? Or when you see things like this, where man says that man's body is not meant to love one woman, it's meant to F every woman. And they think this is a appropriate conversation, not knowing that young ears are hearing this. Kids have phones. The ones that don't are exposed to this conversation in some way, shape, or form. And don't think of the consequences. That if I say something, I want to influence a group, not thinking that you're also influencing minor boys. Their minds are overstimulated because they're seeing words like, I'm not meant with somebody, so I'm going to F everybody. Which then makes them feel like, where is the context in this? I think that I'm supposed to respect a woman's and a girl's body, that no means no, and I'm not supposed to touch somebody, and I'm not supposed to be out here thinking the way they think. This is the older generation's words and curses falling and raining down on the minor boys in the community. They have to be accountable. These are their kids. I have no remorse for these boys because they behave like monsters, okay? They chose this, okay? They chose to do this. When they saw that girl, they knew exactly what they were going to do to her when they saw her. In the next video,
look at her. She knocking stuff over. Look, bro. Oh my God. Yeah, look at her, bro. Keep going. I'll show you a video. Show you inside the deli. Man, she's scared of him, bro. I need to speak with her. She tell me she normal and she leave. Bro, she fucked up, Sam. Man, I wish I'm here this day. Huh? I wish I'm here this day. Look, I talked to her and she tell me yes, I'm good. She leave. With that customer, you got customer too. Mm-hmm. See the old lady and the man, two men. Look, you speak with her. After when you speak with her, she tell me, no, I'm good. I'm not no call police. You hear me? She say that. She say, no, I'm good. No call police. Because look, I need call Aziz. He call police. You see when I'm talking to her? Yeah. She say, look, I'm normal. I'm good. Look, right now. Yeah. And she leave. And he got her by her hand. No, keep going for the figure. I show you when she's going there. He say he give her right. You go with him.
Mm-hmm. This dude need to go to jail, man.
So in that video, the guy had kidnapped her and drugged her. On January 22nd, 2026, Pine Bluff police officers responded to the Pine Bluff Corner Market at 2118 West 13th Avenue in reference to a video circulated on social media that appeared to show a juvenile female being forcibly placed into a vehicle by an adult male. After an initial investigation, detectives were able to identify the male in the video as 44-year-old Ornis Rogers Jr. Rogers was located, detained, and transported to the detective's office for an interview. At the time of contact, Rogers had visible scratches on his face and a busted lip, which means she was fighting for her life and her safety. Review of the Pine Bluff Corner Market security footage showed a female inside the store speaking with the clerk, who gave her a telephone. The female was identified as a 13-year-old juvenile. The video then showed Rogers escorting a female out of the store, shoving her into the front passenger seat of his vehicle and leaving the area, traveling southbound on Hazel Street. She was later located and interviewed, stating she was walking when Rogers attempted to pick her up in his vehicle, but she ran away. He, however, did manage to kidnap her, and she is safe, and he has now been arrested. So you see what I mean? When you talk about wanting to date younger girls and trying to make pressure older women into making them want to be or feel young again, when this is your fantasy and you think, if I go out there and I do this, well, society has deemed this okay, right? Because we're the Pied Pipers. We want young stuff, and they think this is gonna hurt women. No, this hurts you because you're a pedophile, you're a criminal, and you should be a registered sex offender, which he will be. And I hope they throw him under the jail like those 3 boys that assaulted that young girl. In the next video, the stories go on, and they write themselves. I can only narrate them, but they write themselves.
I've got something to tell you.
What?
I'm here in Denver, and I was going to meet up with what I thought was 18 or 19-year-old boy.
Tell the truth.
He's 14.
What?
And
Got caught.
And I got caught.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Hey, Deb.
Dave?
Okay, hold on.
Hey, Deb. This is Tommy with Colorado Pet Patrol. I'm here in Broomfield, Colorado with your husband. He attempted to pick up a 14-year-old who he knew was 14 to bring back to his hotel for sex. And we are here with him now. Yeah, and I apologize to tell you, he didn't want to call you, but we wanted you to know. He clearly knew it was a 14-year-old. This is our 267th cache. And he's here at the Walmart to pick up the 14-year-old boy.
What?
I'm sorry.
What? This can't be real.
I'm sorry, Deb.
I'm so sorry, Deb. We can...
So she didn't deserve to find out that way. 34 years of marriage ruined for a 14-year-old boy pickup. He did this. He made a choice. Once in, I'm thinking, because they think that high power people get away with things, that does make it somewhat of a social construct and a system too. But when you get caught, what is the end game?
Graphic design. And the guy has a business. So he used to take him to the business to print out things, help him get little orders together. He liked it that.
A mother who Fox 13 will not be identifying says her son's life was changed forever after he began working at Martinius Tyler's print shop.
I thought that was good for him because that's what he wanted to do. And that's when he met Mr. Smith.
She said she never met DeMarcus Smith in person, but she found out who he was after going through her son's phone.
And I opened it up. My heart shattered.
She found nude photos and sexual conversations and reported it to police. She soon found out Smith was already a registered sex offender. In 2015, he pled guilty to possession of child pornography. He pleaded guilty to new sex charges involving that woman's son less than a year later and was sentenced to 30 years in prison.
It wasn't enough time because I don't think it's enough time in the world to give somebody for a crime like this.
Now, a second person indicted on human trafficking and aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor. Martinius Tyler, the owner of the print shop where Smith met the victim, and according to Facebook posts, a pastor and elder at the same church where Smith preached.
I trusted you to help me help him. And this is what you think, this how you thank me, this how you return the favor. You abuse your power and manipulated children.
So in this story, we see that sick Memphis pastor arrested for allegedly sexually exploiting a minor who worked at his print shop. The incident was uncovered when the boy's mother found inappropriate acts between her son, the pastor, and a second man. Martinius Tyler, a pastor and business owner, is now in custody, indicted on human trafficking and aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor. He's the second man charged in connection to crimes involving the same child. The child's mother says her son first met Tyler in 2024 and helped him at his graphics and print shop. He liked doing graphic designs, and the guy has a business. So he used to take him to the business to print out things and get little orders together. Like that, she told Fox 13. She later discovered inappropriate photos and sexual conversation involving her and another pastor, DeMarcus, on her son's phone and reported them to the police. This led to Tyler's indictment. His bail is set at $200,000. DeMarcus Smith, who was already a registered sex offender, was sentenced to 30 years in prison last year for sexually exploiting the same boy. Authorities continue investigating Tyler to determine his involvement and any connections to Smith's offenses. So you entrust somebody that calls themselves a pastor and is supposed to be in a role of leadership, guidance, and he takes advantage of your child. So lately we've been seeing here on YouTube and on the news with these pastors doing egregious things and people knowing these things and about these crimes, not reporting them, but they would rather blackmail each other and play these games, these criminal games, when these people have committed crimes that should be reported and they need to be on somebody's register list. Why do I feel so passionate about this? Because it happened to my son. I have no respect for anybody that calls themselves a pastor or a bishop and appoints themselves to be the helper of God that is supposed to be saving souls, not trying to do body exams to people's children. I don't respect that, because your role is to save souls and to guide people in a righteous direction in a positive direction, in a, well, I don't even want to say mentor, because that word is almost dangerous to use, because people have had so-called mentors and the mentor is taking advantage of them. I would say somebody you trusted did a thing to you, assaulted you, committed a crime against you. Somebody that a child trusted, put his trust in, that will help him, who got him and found out that he had a passion for graphics and helped him while taking advantage of him. Okay. Next video.
Can we have an easy conversation about this, bro? Yeah. And I'm gonna record because I'm in your car, right, and I don't know if you got weapons in here. No, I don't. So, brother, why are you here trying to be my brother?
Actually, I was hoping and praying that it was somebody older.
Really?
Yeah, please.
I mean, because I was looking at his phone, dude, and a lot of the messages didn't seem like you were really trying to hope that he was older.
Yeah, I was really definitely trying to hope
backpack. Okay, so let me ask you, but I saw you send him a message on Thanksgiving talking about you want to come eat him up.
Well, that's because that's what he was saying he was into.
Well, he said he was going to eat that day because it was Thanksgiving.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, but I thought he was older.
I mean, because based off the app, right?
Right.
But he told you something different.
But I thought, again, I wasn't thinking that when he was 16 or no ass like that. Because, again, we all say we're different ages and things like that,
right,
stuff like that.
I mean, well, you didn't say you were a different age.
No, actually, on my...
tripping if I'm 16. No, I don't be tripping if I'm 16. So you're obviously talking once he thought sex. Yeah. And then if you notice, a couple of times, he's like, I don't believe you're real. I'm like, okay, you tell me.
Wayne Pershing, leader and former president of the NAACP, arrested for meeting super young boy for adult purposes. James Stockton, the lead pastor at South Bay Kojic, probably, also former president of NAACP, gets caught fished and arrested to prey on kids. I understand innocent until proven guilty, but from this clip, you can tell this guy has ill intentions and knew exactly what he was there to do. Oh, yes. And he thought it was funny, but he's going to find out quickly once the dust settles and he stops having the cold sweats that this is real. It's real. It shatters any illusion that danger only exists out there somewhere. Predators hide behind titles, roles, and reputations. They look for access, for trust, and for moments when parents are distracted or overwhelmed. Stories like this, or a reminder that our children need oversight, protection, and environments where their safety is never negotiable. We cannot assume others will guard what God placed in our hands. Moments like this push parents to rethink who has influence over their children and how much access the world is allowed to have. Your home can be a place of action and truth, and you can build a life that keeps your children grounded, safe, and guided by your values. If spiritual leaders are targeting kids, who is left to trust? Who is there left to trust? Not only parents have to step in, the community has to step in. A self-proclaimed man of God, he called himself, goes from the pulpit to the walk of shame. In conclusion of this video, I wanted to save that for last because we're seeing a lot of pastors doing a lot of egregious things. I'm going to tell you something, and this is how I feel. I don't care how anybody else feels. You can have your opinion. Let me tell you when pastors commit these crimes because they feel like they are God, because they don't believe in God. The book, the Bible, is man-made. So they think that anything that has to do with that Bible does not affect them if they're on the right hand of God. Because why to continue to commit a crime? Why to decide to be a pedophile and a criminal? Why would you test God and feel like God can be manipulated? God is ignorant, that you have some type of power over God? Your tithing will not save you. You cannot pay God off for things that you have done to kids, things that you have done to your community, whether it's stealing, cheating, lying, and assaulting kids. When you continue to do this, you are no longer a vessel for God. God is not talking to you, in case you don't know that. No, it's Lucifer talking to you, my dear. Because who else will make you feel like you are invincible, that God will let you get away with continuing to be a freak, continuing to sabotage religion, sabotage the church, and sabotage the people in the church? You are a false leader. You are a abomination. Yes, a abomination. You are not worthy of speaking God's name or standing in a church with a cross to bear behind you or in front of you. You are a criminal, a registered criminal. So, on these stories, it is sad where we started with the young boys and we ended with the older group of men. So you see that age group demographic and how it's affects and the cause and effect from that. Where we have podcasters, instead of trying to save the community, they're worried about child support, women's body. Feels like a distraction from what they need to realize. This is not a game. This is real life. This is people's lives. As a pastor, as a podcaster, if you call yourself a mentor or anything in a leadership role, you are responsible for how you verbalize to young boys. And if you are verbalizing to any young women, how it sounds. Are you respectful? Are you taking advantage of somebody's child? Or are you trying to start a Ponzi scheme to get rich quick? See, we don't have a positive group of, I want to say, a good male influence podcast out there that I've recognized. There's a few, very few. Maybe I can count on one hand, but sometimes people don't like to shine the light on what's good. They like to put a microscope on what's bad. Thinking about the things in the community yet they continue to contribute to everything negative about the community, thinking that saying something about their wife or their girlfriend is going to get them brownie points. And what have we come to realize? That men love to impress each other. And let's be real, they secretly submit to each other. They will submit to each other before they submit to you, a woman. They will tell you that I'm not meant to be with one woman because I'm meant to be with everybody, disrespecting their own body. They don't even respect their own bodies. That you say, I'm even interested in myself and be with you to see if this is what I want. And if it's not, I'm moving on. But no, I'm going to be with you. And then I'm going to be with a multitude of women. However that. And then you have a community where these young boys decide that they want to become criminals. And it starts at home. We know this. We don't even know what these boys have witnessed because it is influence after all. It's very much how you mold somebody, what they see, hear, think, and feel, cause and effect. Those two words are like yin and yang. And then when you hear somebody say, he's not going to sacrifice his life to protect his wife, he's the same individual that won't sacrifice.
Oh my God, yeah, look at her.
To save a little girl like this because she had been kidnapped and no one helped her except the clerk. They gave her a phone to call for help. Yeah, that's what our community has come to. So when are we going to be honest and say that for right now, the Black community is until they can be found? When we stop hating each other, maybe we can get somewhere. Maybe we can start there. Because see, being mad at your mama and your daddy, grown, does not stop you from getting the therapy to deal with why you hate your mom or your dad. And we can only hope that that child is molded into something that can be valuable in the community. If you understand how life is, you have a choice between good and evil. Have you ever been with that thought in your head where you've had the choice between being good or bad? Because you don't go through this life without thinking and without something, your intuition or a thought causing you to pause and think. Thank you guys for listening to the video. And I want you to have a good evening. Bye.